What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Today we're guessing the ELO, if you couldn't tell already. Tiny Dry. And we're in version 108. I believe this is the version, actually, where I can talk about the funny rules. So, the way that Drylands village spawns work, this was not discovered in V108, so I know that this person doesn't know. This is extremely recent knowledge, but these are the only spots where villages can spawn on Tiny Dry. I'm not joking. Fun trick. This also works on lakes and Arky and Waterworld. Basically every quadrant-based map works like that. So you can probably guess that Cymanti's not here because you don't see their terrain. So like if you want to be super technical, Cymanti is probably here, maybe here. But the opponent doesn't know that. I just like putting that trivia out. They make a sword, extremely based. And then village seems logical here. Okay, I would just go for the village. I might even ignore the ruin because you know that the opponent is in here. When you go for the double sword opening, what do you want to do? You want to rush the opponent. And if you score kind of at the beginning, you saw 630 points, you know it's Cymanti. You're just kind of diverting your sword here. You know that the opponent is just not there. And you get riding, which, yeah. We buy hunting kind of early. And Explorer? Never punished. Oh, looks like this rule actually isn't a thing in V108. It might be V110, because it was whenever weekly challenges was added. Someone smarter than me knows what version that is. Yes, they actually don't have a lighthouse spawn here. That's good to know. But, oh yeah, I just realized, yeah, you can pretty easily tell. But yeah, so this is an interesting position. I don't agree with the Cap Explorer, but I guess it worked out anyway. The thing is with the Cap Explorer, it could have gone this way and given us literally nothing. It worked out, but that doesn't mean it'll always work out. Now, we definitely want to make a sword. Oh, we have to make a, yeah, sword here, and then we have to make a warrior on capital. If we don't make a warrior on capital, we lose. Rider here. It just dies to this hexapod, but never punished. Oh my goodness, never punished? We kill that? And then yeah, we retreat there. I don't think that's the best retreat. If we look at things. I think just retreating it, I feel like right here is better for some reason. I don't know why that stands out to me. It just does. I can't explain why. Because the problem with here is they just kill and then go right there or right there if they want to stay out of range of a potential rider. But I guess the same can happen if you retreat the rider there, so I don't think there's actually any benefit. I don't know. I just feel like the rider should go there. But it doesn't actually matter. You could argue that the rider getting converted isn't a huge deal here, but you can't really reach the shaman in time to actually deal with that, so honestly, the real question is here, why did... Who resigned? I assume it has to be the Venger. If it's the Cymanti that resigned, what the heck? So, like, the Cymanti wins, just straight up. Kills the warrior, sieges cap, GG. If the Cymanti player resigns here, they're a silly Billy. And they should subscribe to me. What's the ELO for this? This feels like 1300. Like, you got the double swords, and you did some okay micro. There wasn't anything truly atrocious, but I feel like you didn't really understand the whole game plan. Although, well, actually, no, the Explorer was atrocious. Never mind. 1100. Just 1100. Oh my goodness, the Cymanti was almost 1500 and they resigned that position. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna pull the replay back up. Give me a second. Sorry, I just have to show you guys something. So, we see here they have 5 stars, right? And so you can decide to resign in this. They have climbing, actually. I was gonna say you can buy climbing, but you already have it. There is no harm in walking on the mountain, seeing if this is a resign-worthy position, and then resigning. If you had just stepped on the mountain, you know, hit the warrior, that's just GG, you win. Unbelievable. 1500, by the way. Alright, I'll go ahead and cut to the next one. Alright. We got small lakes. Holy moly, the spawn is insane. Just triple warrior opening this. I think you just slap a warrior either here or here if you want. Then slap a warrior down here, slap a warrior here. You're gonna find some villages. You're getting hunting pre-cap. Oh my goodness, this spawn's crazy. And you're against Omaji, which can't really deal with the early giant you're about to throw at them. You're going to make them cry. Explorer here is pretty good, actually. I agree. It's just, it's vision. It was already kind of funneled. I just realized they literally did exactly what I said at the beginning. I swear I do not watch these. This guy's kind of good at the game, dare I say. This feels a little passive. I think you can move the warrior up in case they... Oh, actually, I see why. Okay, no, I understand. So, yeah, no. If you do this, actually, this is stupid because then they can hit and go there if they get an explorer and get vision, which the way that it's probably funneled for them, that's exactly what's going to happen. So you don't want to do that. However, you still can do something that's a little less passive than this. Maybe they're also looking towards going here, which, let's check the shorelines. No, no, no. There is a chance of village here, but it's pretty... Actually, no, there is no village there. It's a 0% chance. So trying to find a village here isn't worth it, so this warrior I feel like should be doing something more. You could consider moving the warrior here, but I prefer here. It can still be hit, but they can't move on to the village after. And then you can, like, I don't know, maybe you can pretend to have roads. Or you can just ignore them, get forestry, get your giant. Yeah, the more I look at the spawn, the more disgusting it seems. You get a giant with no math needed. You already have 5 forests and an animal, and you have a lighthouse, so you can actually chop a forest if you want to optimize your sawmill spots, which you actually don't need to do here. But I mean, you can chop to get that giant potentially sooner. Now they just smacked the warrior, I assume for meeting stars. Because it didn't seem like a particularly bad play. Farming... you're so close. Like... Opening was great, there was like one slightly questionable thing. And you blew it. You blew it. For all of us. Like, farming is not the worst thing ever here, but forestry is right there. Do you see that, giant? And you're following up with math 10 out of 10 times, because look at this city. That is a level 3 sawmill, or if you like go for a really greedy border growth, and you even get a level 4. I probably wouldn't go border growth here. There's just not enough resources to justify it, and controlling these water tiles is basically pointless. But like, we don't judge here, except we actually definitely judge here because it's against the elo. What did you expect? I used that joke in a different video. I'm very, very unoriginal. I steal my own content. Oh wow, we finally meet Omaji, which, yeah. We couldn't have really tried to meet them earlier without just throwing a warrior in nowhere. Like, Omaji kind of has to do that for us. We level up, you know, at least we're using farming. Okay, I don't like this. There's a few things. First off, your rider's open. You could have avoided that too by positioning this warrior right here instead. Just avoid that issue entirely. Second off, like, what are we doing? We have the giant off forestry still. It's not going anywhere. Let's like chop, get to it. They're not sieging us. They just don't have the means of doing that. And we don't have the best position for attacking here. Like, the thing is, this isn't drylands. This isn't Panji. This is lakes. You don't have to go haha funny brainless unit spam You have to think about what is the map telling you to do. The map is telling you, get that giant and stop trying to spam riders. I'm putting force in your way so you can't do that. That's what the map's telling you. It's saying stop. Stop, this rider sucks. It's only going to be useful for defense. It's not going to help you attack. Although, watch as probably what's going to happen. Imperius somehow finds a way to get an attack going, despite playing against Omaji, and I eat my words. But that's not because I'm wrong, that's because the Omaji's bad. Omaji should have enough units to realistically defend anything here. But, yeah, okay, Imperius is gonna get roads. We do siege, okay, cool. But yeah, unsurprisingly, exactly what I expected to happen happens. That's what happens when you do a lot of guess the elo. Just it should have gone a rider first, I'm pretty sure. We'll see at the end of the turn. Maybe they planned all this out. But like, you still get both giants. Maybe you can make a rider here at least. No? Really? No units? No. No. Well, what is Omaji doing, dude? They got a border growth. Sure, they got a border growth. And now they have roads. They're not construction, roads. Like, where are Omaji's units also? Like, I know like you don't always have to spam units, but like Omaji has a situation where like it makes sense. And oh, they don't have vision. Oh my goodness. You know, I don't know what to expect sometimes. Maybe I'm setting the bar too high for y'all. You know, Polytopia is just a fun little game that some people play on the toilet, and you're allowed to do that and have some fun. But this is Guess the Elo, so you're allowed to be judged. Although the Omaji didn't send it this game, so. But again, my predictions being like glaringly true. We put the wrong rider on the siege. We could have just moved this rider out of the way and then siege with the vet. Sure, yeah, Omaji's not the aggressor in this game, where Imperius is blocked, and I was literally just talking about how they shouldn't actually be attacking here. They didn't get forestry the entire game, by the way. It feels like a slap in the face. Like, I know they aren't actually doing that to be mean. They just tunnel visioned on farming and spamming rider roads because they probably play a lot of Pangea or Dryland, most likely Dryland, because nobody appreciates Pangea. Anyway, tangent aside, 1300 elo. I don't know. That seems way too, like, really tunnel visioned. But then again, their micro was good, so I don't know if I can fault them too much. But that was just so like, I'm gonna do this one thing, even if it doesn't actually make any sense here, and I have a very obvious, much better thing I can do. Like, they're just trying to force riding here. Maybe 1400. I'll say 1390. A little weird, but 1390. Okay, I should have stuck with my gut. I said 1300 right off the bat. I didn't stick with my gut. What is the moral of the story here? I have absolutely no idea. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub. That's the moral of the story, I guess. And have a good one.